Hello, my friends. Jerry Rosa here in the Rosa String Works Man Cave. And, well, the plan sort of kind of worked. I'll tell you all about it. Hopefully we've got somebody out there watching us today. Anyway, I'm sure most of you already realized that we're doing the vlog at 1 o'clock because I was working on the Waterwheel early this morning. I got outside, started working on it at 6 a.m., worked on it solid, didn't take a breath till 8:30, and just about that moment it started raining pretty hard, but only for just a few seconds, just enough to soak down all the tools and everything. And I cleaned up the mess, but basically I had everything done that I wanted to get done this morning, at least out there at the site. And I'll show you a little short video on all that detail rather than walking you through it. It is a really hot and humid day, and it is rainy on and off. It's been sprinkling, pretty much all day, and then right now I think it's paused again. It kind of like sprinkles a while and then pauses a while, and that kind of thing. I want to remind everybody that we have the guitar up for auction on my website, www.rosastringworks.com. You go on the shopping page, and it is a fine guitar. It really is. $3,000 will buy it right now. Man, I hope it. I just can't believe it's not getting more action because it's a great guitar, and it's got the flamed mahogany back and sides, and it's got a real nice matched bear claw spruce top. Sounds really good, stays in tune really good, plays really easy. Just a great guitar. You'd be really hard-pressed to find one that's any better. Well, anyway, that's the name of that tune. If you're looking for a guitar, I can't really recommend it high enough. It's a good one. I've got a couple of video links I'm going to mention to you. My brother Scott built a really, really cool bat house. And when I say bat house, I don't mean Batman house. I mean for the real little furry critters that fly. He built... it just is really a cool looking bat house. I don't know how else to explain it, but I have a link in the description to that video if you'd like to check it out. I'm going to see if I can't talk sideways to him and see if he'll build me one. I'd like to have one here on the farm. There's also another video that I put a link to that I just watched this morning after I worked on the Waterwheel, and it's a lineman, and I don't know, it doesn't say where it was, or at least I didn't notice where it was, but it's in Europe, I would say, and it's maybe Germany or Austria or someplace like that. That's what it sounds like they're speaking. And I'm no lingual expert, but anyway, this guy is a lineman on electric lines, and he is basically riding a bicycle down the line. He's hanging on a bicycle, if you will, riding it down the line. And the moment he started that, I thought, it'd be my luck. And I mean, I know my luck. I'd get about halfway out there where you're 200 feet in the air, and you'd find a frayed wire or a wire that's about to break or something like that. Well, guess what? He finds a frayed wire as he gets out there. About halfway out there, he's got 4 strands of the cable are broken, and it would send chills up my neck, especially when he looks like he's got to be 150 feet, maybe 200 feet in the air. Yeah. Anyway, just thought I'd tell you there's a link to that out there too if you're interested. We'll be at Dickey's Barbecue Pit this evening. Let's see. Remember the other day we were talking about, I remembered seeing some circles on the ground on some video or some photo of our farm, and the circles could have been like where the wigwams sat, for years. Maybe maybe there's a rock circle there or something like that. And I said these aerial photos showed these circles. Well, I still haven't found exactly what I remember seeing, but Mike Zalowitz sent me a link to some photos, and so here's one of those photos blown up, and I drew a couple little tiny yellow circles around the spots that I'm talking about, so you can look at this. You see, if you look there on the ground, you can kind of see a circle in both places there. I remember seeing about 3 or 4 circles on the video I remember seeing before, and they're all in this general area. And, you got to realize that we've plowed that area up a bunch of times, so it's, to see anything in the ground is kind of a miracle, really. Though with LiDAR, those guys, it doesn't matter if it's been plowed or not, they can see the stuff that's underneath it. And you can kind of see there inside my little yellow circles I drew. I guess those are yellow. I just picked a color. They look yellow to me. Anyway, inside those circles, you can kind of see some almost full circles on the ground there, And I don't know for sure what that means, but it could be, where the wigwam sat. Now, keep in mind, to the right of the photo, so almost over where it's touching me, where those trees are at the bottom right corner, that's where the creek runs through. And there's another creek coming perpendicular to that on both sides of those circles, really. So there's those circles are in between 3 different creeks. And, we were talking about the petroglyph I found that, could have been indicating this exact scenario. It's high speculation and lots of wishful thinking in there. But it could be. I mean, that's what it could be. It does kind of look like the area to me, and kind of the way they drew it on that rock. And that rock, I'm 99% sure that was done by a person, not by nature. Not 100% sure. 99 though. Well, anyway, that's the name of that tune. Just thought you might like to see that. And let's see. I have made some progress on the water wheel this morning, so you might as well look at that video.
Well, my friends, this morning is all good news, bad news. Good news, bad news, good news, bad news. It's pretty much that way all the way through. The bad news right at the moment is that it's raining. The good news is that it's raining, and therefore we're getting some moisture in the ground. That's always a good thing, but it's kind of putting a damper on my plans. But so that would be the bad news. It's, stopping me here. But the good news is I got everything done this morning that I really planned to do on the outside here. Now I have to work on, I'll work inside my shop on the next phase. But that'll be much better conditions because it was super, super hot and humid out here. That's the bad news. The good news is my shirt is so completely soaked with water that it's cooling me off. Yeah, it's a mess. And you might be able to hear the thunder. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but it's not raining hard right now. In fact, it stopped for just a second. As I turned this on, the rain stopped. So let me show you what I did this morning. I cut all the walls off level. That was actually the last thing I did. I just finished that. I put the concrete anchors in. You can see the little anchor bolts. I put 3 across the bottom, 3 across the bottom here, and then 4 across this front, 2 on each side of the door there. And I put 1 anchor into the wall here. I can't get an anchor in this part of the wall because the wall goes out. This is what's not level. I'll just cut a wedge to fit that and caulk it real good, and it'll just be good enough. That wall will be tied to this wall with the floor anyway. I'm not really that worried about it. It's not that critical. Well, there you can see it looks much nicer with all that trimmed off to the proper height. I cut it at 4 inches. The thickness of the floor will be about 8 inches with the plywood. So that'll go about halfway up the floor. Then there'll be a trim board showing the, covering up the seam. Now, my next plan is to build this little short wall inside the shop. And so I've got to get measurements on that and get that built. And then we're good to go. So here's what it looks like coming from the important end. And it looks so much nicer with those walls cut off even. And just think how much nicer it's going to look once we get the floor on and then once we get the second story on. Yeah, it's going to be quite a building. Looking forward to it.
Well, I'm kind of excited about making some progress on it finally. And probably when we're done here, I think I've got enough gumption to go out there in the shop and try to build that little short wall to get that finished. I have to finish that before I can actually lay the floor joists on to build that first floor. And then on top of the floor, of course, I'm building a whole second story on top of the building. So, yeah, there's a lot more to this yet. But anyway, I think it's probably what I'll do. As soon as we're done here, I'll head out there to the shop. Now, we have Dickey's Barbecue tonight. We're going to be playing there from about 6:30 till about 6 o'clock, from about 6 to about 8:30. We'll be playing at Dickey's Barbecue in Rolla, Missouri this evening. So if you're in the neighborhood and you want to stop in, we'd love to have you. All right, let's go through the comments and see where we're at here. I know a lot of these comments were put on very early this morning, I think, so I'm just going to look mainly for the question marks. Dottie has some question marks. She's praying for us. Thank you very much, Dottie. Appreciate it. James Copy, good morning from San Leon, Texas, working on improving our grid methods. David Tharp, I dare you to read it fast. A skunk sat on a stump. The stump thunked the skunk stunk, but the skunk thunked the stump stunk. That's about as fast as I can read, David. And trust me, that's really stretching it for me. That's about as fast as I can read. Bill Mumbo, David, I shall need my special Sunday teeth to accomplish that tongue twister. Let's see, David Tharp. Okay, here's this one here. I don't get this one at all, David. And I don't think anybody can explain this one to me. I've tried to read this 2 or 3 times. How much does it cost to hire a singing ensemble? That's a choir. Find how much does it cost to acquire a singing ensemble. That's he correcting the English. I guess that's what I finally got it, I think. All right, never mind. Wavy Gravy, Jerry. A while back, there was a discussion about squirrels. I sent you my version of the Rocky and Bullwinkle theme, complete with overhead jets. I guess you never heard it. I can send it again. I think I saw it. I think I did. I get so many emails. Honestly, I'm trying to not get so many emails because I get hundreds. I mean, like way more than your average person gets emails. It's unbelievable. So I go through them pretty fast, and if I don't have something that I absolutely have to do with them, I pretty much just delete them and just keep going. So, yeah, like lots of people send me video or emails to look at this, look at that, and I'd rather you didn't, honestly, unless it's something really super important to me, because honestly, I just can't keep up. It's unbelievable how many emails I get. Lynette Landry, waiting with the rest for Jerry. Oh, okay. Let's see. Moving on down here. After we went live now, it looks like Bruce Hines, good afternoon. Hazy Days. Hello, I'm Hazy Days, and I'm from Wales in the UK. I'm just come across your videos. I'm 6 years into building guitars. You've seen You seem to have a lot of knowledge and skills. Thanks for sharing. Well, you're welcome, and I hope you'll check them out. And I hope to see you some more on some of the vlogs. I know that this is not our normal time. 1 o'clock in the afternoon is not our normal vlog time, but I'm glad you're here. Normally, we start at 8 a.m. my time, and which is quite a bit of difference for your time. Obviously, about 8 hours difference, I think. Scott Roberts, sorry for the heat back there, but I'm glad you are changing your live show for a while as it's a bit easier on my schedule. Well, that's good. See, Will's Check says, have you ever heard of the duo called Honeysuckle perform their own music for the most of the time? Nice guitar and mandolin. More progressive Americana. Yeah, I'm not sure I've heard of them. Honestly, I don't think I have. Tom Armstrong, ever thought about digging a small area across the circles to see? Well, I didn't even know where the circles were. I remembered it from years ago, but now that I see those circles there, I kind of know where those spots are. I've always wanted to do an archaeological dig back there. It's just, finding the time and the energy and, in the right temperature and all that too, because in this kind of heat, there's no way I'm going to do it. Maybe in this fall when it cools off, I might try it this year. I've been wanting to do it for a long time, but I've got to get a couple of these other projects knocked out, like this Waterwheel thing's got to get behind me, and I got to get the dump truck behind me. And I do want to build onto my shop also. I don't know if I'll do that this year yet or not, but I'd like to get it built because I've got lots of stuff to work on, and it would sure be easier if that shop was bigger where I had a place to work on equipment. Let's see. Zappa, Sue's flowers are going to look great next spring. Yeah, there's a lot of rain going on. Dottie says, hit the like button. It helps, and I appreciate that. Yeah, the thumbs up is always good. Anytime you're watching one of my videos, I would very, very, very much appreciate you clicking that thumbs up. Tom says, the mill house is looking awesome. Thanks. It's going to be really neat when it's done, I think. I think everybody's going to be real tickled with it when you see it at the final. I've got visions. I don't know that I can make it match my vision, but I hope it does. Chipwood, 102 here in Oklahoma. Glad my wife reminded me to come in and catch your vlog. Well, that's good, Chip. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, our high temperature from yesterday said 102 on that thermometer, so it kind of matches what you got there too. And it was pretty darn hot yesterday. And then this morning when I got out there, it was already 78 degrees at 6 a.m. Well, 78 degrees, you're bumping 80, and then it's so humid you could cut it with a knife. It's like you're walking through water. I was soaked. Honestly, you could have taken my t-shirt and wrung it out and got a glass of water out of it. I'm positive. It was just that bad. And then right at the very end there, as I was actually finished when it started raining, and of course that just soaked me down even more, but that actually felt good because it was cool. Scott Roberts, when will Tim Carter be in Oregon, and how can I get in touch with him to link him up with a local DJ who has a history program? Well, he heard about that. I don't know how to get a hold of him either, honestly. Maybe he'll watch this and, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Sorry. I'd tell you if I did. Zappa, Chipwood, heavy rain moving through St. Louis is now 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, I think we're in the upper 60s or 70s still. Let me see. No, it still says 75 here on my thermometer, and that one's in the shade under the porch, so it still says 75. So anyway, it was really, you could cut it with a knife. It was unbelievably humid out there. It was unbearable. It really was. If the sun had been shining, there would have been no way to do it. It was tough enough just like that. Kelly Manis, we had 119 degrees last week. Was a record day here in Northern California. Wow, 119 degrees. Yeah, you could fry an egg on your black car out there in that. Scott Roberts got his fingers crossed. Yeah, that maybe he'll see this. Yeah, that would be good. So, Tim, if you're seeing this, send me an email. Tell me how I can let these guys get in touch with you, and I'll, he may already be through Oregon for all I know at this point. I doubt it, though. I doubt it. I think they were taking their time going up that way, so they're probably just about to get there by now. So anyway, Tim, I hope you're watching this. He probably won't be watching it out on the road. Let's see, Ben Boyd, if you ever come across a good F-style mandolin for sale, please keep me in mind. Well, I'll try to keep that in mind, but I don't come across all that much, honestly. Not generally, anyway. Scott Roberts says, I hope that was the right digit. My eyesight's not that great. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Oh, with those fingers crossed up there? Chip Wood, let's see. Okay. See, Ronald Toss says 96 in New Jersey today. Well, guys, I don't know. I think that's probably going to be it. I appreciate y'all being here. We've got 111 viewers, so we're a little less than we would normally have at our 8 o'clock. We typically have around 150 at 8 o'clock. So right now we have fewer, but we'll probably do it at this time again tomorrow, because tomorrow I will try to be putting that floor on. And if I can get that floor on, well, then after that, I'll probably go back to my regular time on the vlogs for a few days, and then hopefully set the next walls up, build the walls inside the shop, and then take them down there with the Bobcat and set them in place. That's a lot easier than trying to build them in place in this heat and humidity. Well, anyway, guys, thanks so much for being here. We will see you tomorrow with something else.